Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Gameroom Discourse. I'm Mike.
I'm James.
And I'm Joey.
And today's topic is going to be dead franchises or franchises that have not gotten enough attention.
Yeah, there are quite a few of those.
I mean, let's start off with a definition of dying and dead franchise.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to probably define it as a game that is just not getting any narrations. Interest for the game itself has died. The latest iteration of the game is probably not getting any attention at all, either by community or developers. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would consider if it has all those things, it is probably best considered dead. That until it's its next iteration.
Yeah, that, and we'll also be talking about games that have really been going down a path that no fan wants, like Chibi Robo.
Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh, there's so many franchises like that.
I'd like to start off with a pretty big one in Banjo-Kazooie.
Yep.
Everybody knows Banjo-Kazooie, and if you don't, you've been living under a rock. And Banjo-Kazooie's last game was Nuts and Bolts, which I don't even know if I'd call it a Banjo-Kazooie game.
I'd say it's a Banjo-Kazooie spin-off game, not even an actual Banjo-Kazooie game.
But a lot of rareware titles are dead because of Microsoft just buying them out and then not doing anything with them to prevent Nintendo from having more competition.
Yep.
Which sucks, because it means we don't get to see them again.
Yeah, and I'd love to see another Donkey Kong 64, but yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, not looking good at all.
Not looking good. I loved that game.
It was pretty good.
I want them to bring it to the N64 expansion.
I think everybody wants that. The only thing is I'm not spending money on that expansion. That's just too much money for what is just like 10 games.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather just, and here I am going on again about it, I'd rather just emulate it at this point. It's honestly ludicrous.
I feel like you two could definitely do an entire podcast episode about emulation.
Just emulation.
Probably, yeah.
Emulation itself keeps games alive, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very well. Yeah.
I wouldn't touch like a couple of games if I had to get its proper copy, or if it wasn't being sold anymore. Like a bunch of the Pokemon games I'm only able to touch now because of emulation.
Mm-hmm.
And effectively, they'd be dead, I'd say. You wouldn't be able to do challenges or anything.
Well, I would say that. I mean, while on the topic of Pokemon, one of my favorite franchises is Pokemon Ranger, and that is dead.
Yep. Pokemon franchise itself is not dead, but Pokemon Ranger, we're not seeing another game ever for that.
Ever, no. I thought Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was going to be dead for a while, but then we got that remake.
And it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I played the shit out of it.
Added Mega Evolution and all that.
Yeah, I'm very excited, but I'm very upset about Ranger. Ranger was one of my favorite games when I was a kid. I loved being able to, work with my Pokemon and be like a hero and protect the world from, it was just a different take. You got to be friends with your Pokemon instead of capturing them. Yeah. You got to work with them.
Oh, and then Shadows of Almia was my favorite. Oh, it's so
Shadows
good.
of Almia was phenomenal. I loved Guardian Signs. I loved the original Fruma, Fruma, whatever it's called. I forget what the name of the region was. Yeah, they were some really great games. Or
there's Pokemon. There's a bunch of Pokemon
Yeah,
spin-offs.
Pokemon Troze, Pokemon Rumble, Pokemon Coliseum, and
I thought
Pokemon Puzzle
Snap was
League.
also dead.
Yeah, but they
Like,
brought
spin-off
that back.
games are like kind of meant to die, though.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
They're mostly
experimental.
experimental, and like they try a lot of things that they wouldn't try for main series.
I guess.
Yeah, plus, I mean, they're supposed to use the gimmicks of the consoles that they're on, like the stylus, and then there was the Pokemon Pinball. There was so many Nintendo pinball games for the Game Boy. Like, what the hell was that about?
I mean, we can consider Dr. Mario dead as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most recent one is Dr. Mario 64 on the Virtual Boy, or not the Virtual Boy, but the Virtual Console type thing. And even then, that's like,
I wouldn't consider Virtual Console games as like a different game. They're just the same game, just being re-released.
Yeah, it's kind of like F-Zero, which actually hasn't had a Virtual Console release in years, decades.
I mean, would we consider underutilized if it's getting a remaster or remake? Because I mean,
it's on the Switch online. It's on the Switch online.
Yeah,
but like that's not saying much.
That is not saying much. Plus, I mean, you have to pay like $20 extra for not only the original one, which is $30, but $20.
Yeah.
Or no. Wait, let me look up the price again. I think it was like... No, the original is $20, and then it brings $30 in, like 10 per whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
But let's get into the meat of the topic. Banjo-Kazooie. We'll start there. I know I touched on it earlier, but Banjo-Kazooie is a very, very famous franchise featuring Banjo and Kazooie, and they're played against the evil witch Gruntilda. Now, the game, in my opinion, only has three like actual installments. I know some people will say 4. But Banjo-Tooie, and then Banjo 3, which never came out.
There was also the Game Boy Advance game, but
that's the one that I consider the third one.
Yeah. And then there's Nuts and Bolts, which most people know.
Unfortunately, they know.
Yeah. And don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge it.
Well, why would you? When your franchise is starved, and then that's what comes out? I mean, it's just insulting.
Oh, incredibly.
And then Star Fox is another big one.
Yeah.
I want to try to get a lot of the big ones out of the way.
Yeah.
Real quick. That everybody...
I've got the iteration in years. I mean, they're considered classic now, mostly because their franchise is just basically...
gone.
Yeah.
Basically, the only original Star Fox games have been the SNES one, the SNES 2 one, the Nintendo 64 one, and then the...
Zero.
No, not even Zero. Zero is not a new one. It's a rerun of the first.
Oh, that's right. It's a redone of 64.
Yes, and then there's like Star Fox Adventures
and Adventures.
Yeah, and then Star Fox whatever it is on the GameCube. It's the other one that was actually kind of good.
Star Fox Adventure?
Not Star Fox Adventures, it's the other one on the GameCube.
And Star Fox Command. Or Assault.
Yeah, that.
Not Command, Assault. I don't know why I keep saying Command.
Command is the one on the DS.
Yeah.
And even then, Star Fox Guard is a spin-off. 64 3D is a remake of 64. Star Fox Zero is 64 again.
How hard is it to make a goddamn game about anthropomorphic animals in space?
Pretty hard because that's I
guess it's pretty hard.
It's an on-rail shooter, which nowadays on-rail shooters don't really work that well. They don't really sell.
So what? Nintendo has enough money from other franchises. Why not just make a game that people like? That will.
Well, I mean, they're not sure if people will like it. I would say. I mean,
there are fans of Star Fox.
On a game, though. I'm saying there are fans of Star Fox, but is there enough for them to justify,
Who needs justification? No, I'm just kidding.
as a company, they're going to need justification as to why they should game. I mean, that's
because we want it. Because the three of us want it.
Well, that's
three
not
of
gonna
us
be-
say
we're
so.
the entire community. Oh, let's not get. But
We are Nintendo.
very small. It's small compared to how many people sell it. Rather, they can focus on something else or a new IP.
Yeah.
I unplugged my computer for about a minute and a half, and it already lost 6% of battery.
Nice.
Not even a minute and a half, like 30 seconds. Anyway. I mean, yeah, you're right, but like, whatever. I don't like it.
Like if a game is risky, I see why they wouldn't like pick it up again.
Yeah, if people know it's a niche, it's a niche game series, so
Then why did they do Metroid?
Because that one actually has a big following with Smash.
I
And
mean,
Star Fox's only following is Smash now. What do you mean?
I mean, so is F-Zero, but you're not going to see anyone pull up an F.
Well, F-Zero makes sense. F-Zero makes sense because they already have Mario Kart. I'm not saying I agree with it. I would love to see an F-Zero game. I would play the hell out of it. But F-Zero's dead because there's already a racing franchise in Nintendo. And they don't want to make another one. I hate that mindset because it's toxic, but like, I get it.
It's just like the Mario and Luigi series.
Yeah, but like, you guys know what I mean, right? I get it, but I don't like it. Like, you know that mindset?
Yeah, it's just
I get it.
I'm gonna explain it this way. It's just like the Mario and Luigi and the Paper Mario franchises. They didn't want to.
Dude, I love Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, it's
amazing. It'll never come back.
Yeah, it won't.
I'm so upset.
And the thing is, Paper Mario went into a completely different direction than everybody wanted.
Paper Mario, okay, controversial opinion. Okay, I know. I have a lot of them, apparently. Paper Mario Origami King was a phenomenal game. A lot of people think that it's not the best. A lot of people will agree that it's better than, obviously, Color Splash and Sticker Star, but that isn't exactly saying much.
Sticker Star is not a high bar to go above.
No, and neither is Color Splash. But, like,
it's a slightly higher one.
I think that Origami King is a phenomenal game, and I think it's better than Paper Mario 3, which is Super Paper Mario. I think it's better.
But do you think the franchise itself has suffered due to previous
installation?
Yes. At that point, it's just gonna keep going in a down spiral. I would say, for Sonic,
I think
bad games.
Yeah, well, Sonic's a lost cause.
I don't know about being a lost
just
cause.
let the
Sonic
fans
Mania,
make the games.
I feel like
Sonic Mania wasn't Sega though.
It was the fans.
Yeah, so I love Sonic Mania.
There is interest for Sonic.
And what did Sega do after that? They remade Colors, and it did not do well.
Well,
remake Generations.
Exactly.
They tried to remake Generations with Forces. I don't think they understand.
That's not a remake. That's a sequel.
Wait. James, explain that. James, please explain that for me, because I didn't know Forces was supposed to be a remake of Generations.
I'm saying it looks like it's very much they did the same thing with a classic and modern Sonic, and
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I
I didn't play Forces.
It's understandable.
Nobody did.
But,
I didn't play Forces.
The problem with a lot of Sonic games is that they did a lot of wrong directions in terms of characters, gameplay, and it's just not what a lot of people wanted at the time.
It's like all the fans know how what makes a Sonic game a good Sonic game, and then you have the developers who are just linear fast.
Even people that make Sonic comics, people that make fan games know how to properly characterize the characters and make what a Sonic game is fun.
Except for Sonic 2.
And Sega just doesn't. They
don't. They really don't.
And it's just constantly happening too. like across like every game, so it's kind of getting hard for Sega to justify making that when it could make Yakuza or Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Sega's not Bayonetta anymore, though.
It's Platinum.
I was saying games. Like beforehand though, because like I was saying,
fair.
Sonic has gone down like basically on a down spiral. People would think like after Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, dude, a lot of people I know like Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes, I thought was good.
I never played.
Mostly because like it had good mechanics, but also like there was some weird things.
Yo, what about Shadow the Hedgehog?
I loved that game, unironically.
Shadow was good, and then they made him. I mean, the game Shadow the Hedgehog was. They tried multiple endings and stuff. They tried a lot of new stuff, but also it was edgy, and it didn't fit a lot with the Sonic crowd.
Yeah. It's just a lot.
But back to what I was trying to say about Origami King. It was a step up in the right direction, I think. And I hope that if they make another one, it will be more like that and more along the lines of something better. And keep going up until maybe we get a 1,000-Year Door-like game. I don't think it'll happen. But I'm hopeful. And then you have franchises like Spyro, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Crash and Bandicoot. Games that are just not coming back much.
What do you mean? Crash Bandicoot had a recent game.
I mean, it did, but, after how long? And when will we see another one?
That's a good question.
Exactly. So, those games are dead, and in my opinion, because of how Sony does things, they like to do trilogies, with the exception of Metal Gear. They like to do trilogies and then let them end, which I don't necessarily disagree with. They don't want to oversaturate a franchise, but when the franchises, after this long, are still demanded, make another one. Crash Bandicoot had more than just 3. It had a bunch. And then they made another one, and it didn't do great. It did all right. It was good, but it wasn't phenomenal.
I feel like there has to be like an interest in the director with it too,
That's
like, one
true.
of the problems like people are thinking with Smash right now is that
Sakurai doesn't want to make another one.
He's not feeling it, and he doesn't see it with anyone else working. Because Sakurai did put in a lot of work just to get the licensing right for that, because that was a nightmare. And like, do you think Smash will survive against that? Because not having a proper director with it, or someone like Sakurai.
I don't think it'll survive. I don't think it'll survive, personally. I think Smash beats Sakurai.
I feel like we'll have to see. I feel like we'll have to see. We'll have to see who the directors
are. We will
are.
eventually see, because there will be another Smash game. I mean, Nintendo, it's one of their most selling franchises. They're not just going to not make another one. So, we will eventually see if it will stand on its own without them. But I don't think it will, personally.
I don't feel like we'll have a game like Ultimate again. I do.
No.
Because Ultimate just got a shit ton.
Ultimate was an anomaly. Just all those franchises.
We got something from a Disney.
Yeah, unless if Disney buys out Nintendo, which actually is possible, then I doubt we're gonna see anything like that again.
I highly doubt Nintendo would be blown up.
I mean, Disney could also kill the franchise to itself if they bought it and
I mean,
just started doing their own thing with it.
Yeah, also Disney's been trying to do gaming stuff for like decades. Do you remember Disney Party for the GameCube?
I do. Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey was kind of good. And now it's a dead franchise.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, I remember they tried to bring Oswald back, a dead character.
Yeah. The land of the dead characters.
Yeah, they literally talked about dead franchise. They literally talked about their franchises.
Yeah, there was the Epic Mickey 1 and 2, which were 3D platformers, and then the one for the 3DS that nobody remembers.
Exactly. I mean, going, like, to a certain, like, porting, or, I mean, like, picking a certain console could kill it as well.
Yeah.
Like, depending on what console ends up, it could be bad.
Like the Wii U. Who the hell would try to make a game for the Wii U? It just sounds awful.
Breath of the Wild turned out pretty well.
That was on the Switch as well.
Yeah, but I was saying like it was put on the Wii U first. So
Actually, speaking of Zelda, when was the last 2D Zelda game that we've gotten?
What's the new one that came out? It was a freaking...
It was the remake
It was
of...
one that came out recently.
It was Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah.
That's the only one. It's a remake of an old game.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. No, I'm just kidding. I loved Link's Awakening remake. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really good. The only thing is it's an old game that we want something new. Like, the most recent original one was Link Between Worlds, and that was kind of just a rerun on Link to the Past.
I mean, it was a sequel.
It was a sequel, but it was in the same exact like layout, almost.
Because it was a sequel.
Well, yes, but did Zelda 2 happen in Zelda 1's world with the
Zelda
whole thing?
2 wasn't a direct sequel.
What the fuck are you talking about? It has two.
I'm kidding.
You motherfucker.
I just wanted to get a rise out of you.
Motherfucker.
I just wanted to make
By being factually wrong. Just by being factually wrong.
Exactly.
Yo, what about Wand of Gamelot?
Wand of Gamelot, Link 2,
Oh, God.
Faces of Evil.
Then there's like... Okay, so 2D Zelda games, we haven't really seen an original one, like, at all.
In a while.
At all, really.
Probably The Wind Waker was the last original one.
That's a
Or
3D.
Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Would be considered like the Elder Scrolls series currently, like, in the process of dying. Even though it gets, like, a new copy for Skyrim at the time.
No, Elder Scrolls 6 is in the making, eventually.
But put into development. We haven't heard any news about it recently.
Yeah.
It's been put into, like, basically development hell.
Yes, exactly.
And I think it's all kill a franchise where it's just like, I haven't heard of this game in a freaking long time.
To Kill a Franchise, the new book.
Written by
Kill a
Nintendo.
franchise. Put a game in development hell. Don't care about it at all. Cut off communication with the community. For like years on end.
Any of you play Mega Man Legends?
Yes.
No. I remember Mega Man 11 recently coming out.
Yes, but I'm talking about the Mega Man 3D games.
Oh yeah, the Mega Man 3D games. No, I do not remember any of those, but
I mean, I haven't really played any of them, but I've heard the horror stories behind Legends 3 and like
Yep.
X7 or whatever it was.
Yep.
It's sad.
Yep.
Speaking of Capcom, why don't we move on to Marvel vs. Capcom?
Pretty much
The franchise that removed all three games, or all three characters that I liked to play. They got rid of Amaterasu, they got rid of Beautiful Joe, and they got rid of Phoenix Wright from MVC3 onto MVC Infinite, and I never played it again.
That's why it's dead.
Because, you know, licensing issues, and, you know, they can't get all
that.
of the people at the same time.
Yeah,
It was the
basically.
same thing that I was saying about, like, Smash. Like, you can't have having characters meet up like this is very freaking hard. Especially, especially for even Marvel. Like, you can't see Spider-Man and other Marvel characters join up often. Unless it's with Sony. That's the only way of seeing it. Because I remember in like the new Marvel Avengers game, you're only you can only play as Spider-Man if you have
the PlayStation version.
Not if you have like the Xbox or the
PC version. Mm-hmm. It's only on the PlayStation version. And even
PlayStation can kill a game.
And even then, I know the reason why they didn't put the characters in the game, like the X-Men characters. It was just a matter of, like, Fox still had them, so they had to stop using them to buy them back at a lower price. And it's just like, sure, but you couldn't have just waited a little bit longer for another game?
No.
Yeah.
No. Of course they couldn't, dude.
And I mean, Infinite is fun to play, and it has good netcode. It's just everything else about it sucks.
Yep.
It's
I want to talk about Mother.
yeah. Yes, my controversial opinion, I do not like Mother 2, and I like Mother 3 only for the rhythm mechanic. That's my controversial opinion.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What? I never enjoyed Earthbound.
Excuse me?
I've played it before. It's the same situation with Super Metroid. Too many expectations, and then it just oh, it's also a thing of
Earthbound has no expectations. Nobody talks about it.
Are you shitting me? Have you seen everything that's talked about on Earthbound? You even saying it's the best in the franchise is expectations.
There's 3 games, and one of them never really released here.
What about Earthbound Beginnings?
That wasn't released until the one Virtual Console shop.
You said Virtual Boy as well. I said it before.
I mean, like, to be the best game in a franchise, I feel like you have to have all 3 games released.
Well, I mean, we have the English fan translation of Mother 3, and it's the best thing that we have for it.
But like, saying Earthbound is the best in a franchise over here in the West is essentially like saying fucking, I don't know, I can't really think of another franchise that hasn't released much in the West versus Japan, but like, it's not saying much. I think Mother 3 is the best game in the franchise. Yes. I love Earthbound. And I don't like Earthbound Beginnings.
I don't like Earthbound Beginnings, and I don't like Earthbound. I never got into them.
Are you into that genre at all?
No, turn-based RPGs, not really.
Well, then that makes more sense.
I mean, I played Pokemon, and that's really fun. I played Mother 3, and that was really fun. It's just Earthbound.
Well, Pokemon, here's my thing about Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon, yes, it's turn-based RPG. But when you think about turn-based RPGs, you think, and somebody just says, "Oh, I just play Pokemon," and then they try to say like their favorite franchise is turn-based RPGs. It sounds weird because Pokemon is so much more than just that, versus an actual franchise that is just the RPG, like Final Fantasy or Trials or Trails and Tales and stuff like that. Basically, Pokemon to me has outdone the name of turn-based RPG and has become its own thing. The format's a turn-based RPG, but it's Pokemon.
Basically, if you want to talk about turn-based RPGs and like classic ones, you want to talk about JRPGs. In which case, is Earthbound a JRPG?
Yes.
Okay, then I don't like JRPGs, despite liking Mother 3.
Well, yeah, you can I don't like shooters, but I love Doom. Like, you can dislike a genre for the most part and still find fun in 1 or 2 games from it.
Yeah.
I really don't like shooters. I think they're repetitive. I think they're overdone and oversaturated. And a lot of them look the same.
That's why I like Doom. That's why I play ones that have different visuals, like Overwatch,
like
TF2,
Metroid Prime,
and Halo.
That's why I play ones like Metroid Prime and Doom, because they look different and they play a bit different.
And they're single-player things. Multiplayer, it's all dependent on your enemy's skill. So each game is going to be different. Each game is going to be either really fun, really infuriating, somewhere in between, a mix of everything. Multiplayer.
I feel like we're getting off topic a bit.
Yeah, we are.
We should get back into dead franchise. Well, what makes a dead game, or what dead game do you like? Keep Paul right now and do a shot a like sequel.
Jet Set Radio.
Joe.
Okay.
Oh, Jet Set Radio. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, there's only been.
What killed the franchise in the first place? Would you say? Like, if you look at the franchise, what do you think actually killed it?
What killed it?
If you liked it, what happened to it? What do you think happened to it?
They released a Japanese only, like, it's niche in the West, and in Japan it's very popular. They released it on an unpopular American system in Japan for Jet Set Radio Future, and that killed it. Jet Set Radio Future is an amazing game. It is like 10 out of 10, the best whatever kind of genre it is. I don't even know what it is. But
what is Jet Set Radio.
It's like a Skate 3D platformer trick game.
I know what it is, but like, what would you call that genre?
Sports, like trick
No,
sports.
I wouldn't.
Trick sports,
Like Tony Hawk, Hawk,
like Tony Hawk or Skate 3, like the Skates. Skate's also a franchise. Okay, let's stick with Jet Set Radio. Okay, Jet Set Radio, really fun. It's just very popular in Japan, very niche in the West, and I only really got to play it when it got re-released on the Vita. Now, Jet Set Radio Future, I'd say it improved upon it 1,000-fold, but it was only on the Xbox, which is only popular in the West and is basically non-existent in the East, in Japan.
Okay.
And that just kind of killed it.
Well, Cooking Mama is still like a thing.
Cooking Mama! Oh my god, I remember that.
Like I know it has a mobile game. It's actually pretty awesome. They used to have it.
They had the Cook Stars game, which came out on Switch, which wasn't supposed to, so they had a recall, but then it came out on PS4 anyway, later.
Like, I like that, and I'm like, this actually teaches you how to cook and stuff. You can get recipes from it.
Yeah, the only thing is, if you're using the touch controls, most of them are, like, kind of very similar, like, spin this, cut this. But I mean, that's kind of what ingredients are. You slice, mince, dice, whatever, and then you cook it. Certain things require special steps. But
I mean, yeah.
It's cooking.
You think it got repetitive with gameplay and wasn't, like, interesting anymore?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, fair enough. If you don't,
it's like all you need to do is play the first two, and then you get the rest of them, except for Cooking Mama or like Babysitting Mama
basically,
or whatever
like,
it was.
Waiting for new like recipes at that point. If you're like cooking,
yeah. If you're looking for new recipes through a $40 game, just go online and find them for free.
I mean, new recipes to cook and all that, but I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yes,
like,
through my voice.
Like Cooking Mama itself, I think I probably should have but I can understand why it didn't do well. If it's like, I think you just like solved for me that it like got repetitive in gameplay, and basically no one was really interested in the next one.
Yeah, because it kind of just
even long-standing franchises always change it up. People would get bored of it.
Yes.
No one wants to play the same game over and over.
That's why I get bored of Pokemon.
But I mean, Pokemon does change some things.
No, it doesn't.
Pokemon, yes, it does. It literally.
It changes more.
Evolution. It changes Z moves.
It changes nothing about the format. It changes very little things about the actual game.
It changes everything. No, Mike. It changes everything except for the battle a lot. It changes
which is
more
the entirety of the game.
No, there's the exploration.
So too, which changes up battles as well. Like over iterations, like they had new like there's stockpile. There's
we can agree to disagree here.
Attack.
Okay, we went back on the Pokemon bandwagon.
I just feel.
We can agree to disagree.
Every Game Room Discourse is going to have at least one Pokemon discussion.
Well, it's big.
It's like a big franchise. Like, we're going to talk about Mario.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Mario at all.
We talked about Paper Mario earlier.
Yeah, but, like, that's not been a recurring theme. Zelda has been.
I think it's just because Pokemon and, like, Zelda, we kind of have, like, a lot of experience on it, and we're very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, they change up gyms to challenges.
but they still were the same format.
Battles, like double battles, triple battles, stuff like that.
That was the first real change.
They add the the battle frontier.
Well, that's because people are wrong.
Ones.
It's because people are wrong.
You just haven't played them enough to really see that they're new.
I think the double battles are a phenomenal change. And that was the first real change.
That was something in Generation 3 fully. I think maybe
Yeah.
Generation 3.
Which is why I kept playing. And then I
They added
stopped
more stuff,
playing
like,
around...
Contest, like...
Anyway, again, this is a little really off topic.
I feel like with those changes, it kept it from being dead. If it was truly the same the entire time, then no one would play it.
It's just gonna keep on looping back to Pokemon, isn't it?
I'm saying this because it's a game that isn't dead. It's a very successful franchise and hasn't died.
Except for the side games.
Also, it becoming classic has helped it out too. Like Mario, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, those games don't feel like they're ever really going to die because they're a classic and they've always sold well, no matter what. Even if there's been a long break, a new game will be successful.
So it's an example of the antithesis of our conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like those, literally, they're too big to fail in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I want to talk about a series that...
we have Diamond and Pearl remakes. Literally right now, at the time of this recording, Diamond and Pearl got its remake.
Yes, and I'm glad that
Let's talk about a game that is failing.
Game that, went out, I don't know, how many years ago? 15 years ago? Getting a remake would do well unless it was, Pokemon?
I know a series that if it got a remake, it still wouldn't do well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Parappa. Ever play Parappa the Rapper?
Yes, I have.
Parappa!
The rhythm game for the PlayStation.
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper, Jammer Lammy, and Parappa 2. Those insanely good, but it's too niche. It's too niche. It
is. It is.
Oh, I love them. Personally, Parappa the Rapper 2 is my favorite. Because it just has the best gameplay. But all of them are insanely good with the music, with the just characters, with the story. It's all amazing. It's just so niche as a franchise that, Rhythm Heaven took its place for the most popular beginner-friendly thing. And then Guitar Hero took that place, and then Rhythm Heaven got it back, and now Rhythm Heaven hasn't had a game in years.
Rock Band or Guitar Hero game either.
Guitar Hero 5 or Live, whatever it was. It was pretty bad. And then and then Rock Band 4, which is just more of Rock Band 3, which is good, kind of, but it's just more of the same, which is a problem that Mike has with Pokemon.
It's a problem that a lot of people would have with a franchise, but they don't see a change.
Yeah. Basically, they added a couple more songs and then removed a lot because they lost the licensing. Yeah, rhythm games are kind of a niche franchise.
Niche genre?
Yeah, a niche genre. Because
the genre...
really, the only popular ones are Osu, which is just for weebs, and then DDR, which is just for arcades, and that's it.
I mean, I would say Friday Night Funkin' would prove that wrong. That would be an anti-thing to that. A lot of people like that. But then again, I would say mostly because people...
It has charm.
It had a lot of Newgrounds. It had a lot of charm.
Yeah, it's like DDR, but at home with your keyboard, which during the time of COVID was very important.
Yes.
But good timing can also make a game not die as well, or say kill it. Good timing also matters.
Yeah, good timing or bad timing can either save or kill.
I know a couple of games would have died in 2001 if they had New York was still with the Twin Towers up, because that would be bad freaking timing. But they would already be in production,
Yeah.
I
don't
know
how we got on to that topic, but we're gonna move.
I'm saying bad timing can kill a game.
Okay.
If you have bad timing that would kill your game.
Yes.
It's just an example. We're not going any deeper. That's
okay.
That's it.
Also, is insensitive, you would say it would also kill a game.
Yes.
If people behind it don't, or if people don't if there's people you don't like that make a game, out of principle, you just don't like someone that makes a game.
Oh, so if like Ubisoft made a game or Activision made a game.
Exactly. Like a lot of their games are like dead on water because
Wait, didn't Ubisoft make the new Rayman games?
Yeah.
I thought they were good. Rayman Legends and Origins?
They came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it really been that long?
It has been that long. I'd say 10 years for Origins and then like 6 years for Legends.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. Which is why Rayman is another dead franchise. It had a lot.
Yeah, that's...
It had a good 2D platformer, which got released everywhere, and then it had 3D games, and then complete silence, and then it went back to 2D, and then complete silence.
Huh.
Yeah, and Origins and Legends are really fun. Like,
yeah.
Origins came out in 2011, and then Rayman Legends came out in like 2013. Jesus, 8 years ago.
Oh my god.
There hasn't been any more. It's just been a re-release of that game, and that's it. I miss Rayman. Rayman was so good.
Yeah, so do I. Rayman was phenomenal.
It was. Though it only had like 5 games in the series.
Yeah. I really like Beautiful Joe. I thought that was a really cool franchise. And it's just gone. It's just Sega decided, nah, no more.
Yeah, and it's sad because a lot of people probably enjoyed it. I know Lythero enjoys it, and it's just...
Have you guys ever played Beautiful Joe?
No.
I haven't.
Actually, no. I've played like the first...
Capcom.
I've played the first 10 minutes on emulator, but that's it.
It's very sad. Because the game basically lived through Marvel vs. Capcom, and then, that got removed from there. And vs. Capcom itself basically died.
I'm upset that people only know that game from that.
I mean, a lot of games are known only through Smash.
Not anymore.
I mean, like, they were introduced to it from Smash.
Yeah,
introduced to it from Smash and only have recent stuff from Smash, like Mother series with Ness and Lucas. That's their most recent.
Fire Emblem was brought to the West really with Smash Melee. Yeah, and that's one of my favorites, but people don't know it now just because of Smash.
They know it mostly because of Smash.
I'd say the West mostly knows it because of Smash.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying nowadays people know it because of Awakening.
But would have gotten
like Three Houses
in the West without Smash, though.
I know that.
But it had gotten those with that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's also games that are dead in certain countries as well, too.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a release of... What would you not see? You would not see like, a couple of US anymore.
I don't think you'd ever see a release of Halo in Japan, like, be actually something important. Basically anything Xbox in Japan is just non-existent.
That's mostly Sony.
Yeah, Sony has like a monopoly there. No,
it's
Sony and Nintendo.
Sony and Nintendo. Sony with the PS Vita, and then Nintendo with the Switch. Because yes, the PS Vita is still.
I was gonna say, is the Vita still getting games?
Like I was saying, that's dead in the US. In Japan, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's still going.
Damn. Cool.
Yeah, it's like slowed down immensely, but it's still going. It's kind of weird.
Let's go back to F-Zero because we touched on it for a second, but we didn't really talk about
it. I've only seen gameplay of F-Zero. I haven't.
So F-Zero is a very fast-paced racing game, kind of like Forza, but not Forza.
More like Mario Kart.
No, I wouldn't, because Mario Kart has a lot of items. Mario Kart has a lot of You can actually die.
It's a course, and it's linear.
Okay, but you can actually die in
really.
F-Zero.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with you there. You can definitely die in that. Like, you can get totaled and, you can't continue to race anymore. Or you can defeat other opponents and they not play in the race anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's challenge races where you have to beat other characters or else you die. Blah, 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 blah. But, F-Zero, I really think, should get another game. And I feel like the reason behind it not getting one, which is because of Mario Kart, is just bad business practices. Like, why not have two big racing games so that if one ever fails, you have another one? Like, why?
It's because usually
Mario Kart wouldn't fail. That's the thing.
And the thing is, it's also a thing of splitting the resources, because if you have two competing racing franchises, why not just keep one and put all your eggs into one basket that's actually known to be successful? Yeah.
I guess. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Oh, no, you can be upset about it. It's just...
Why, from a business practice, I see why they don't do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I do too.
So they can't greenlight it, and so for even that people want to make it, can't do it.
They tried. They wanted to they tried to ask the people who made Forza to make a new F-Zero game, and they just said no.
Yeah, and there were some people coming out with their own iterations, like Fast RMX.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good, but it's not F-Zero.
It's not F-Zero.
For a Viva series, everything has to freaking align. You have to have people...
Yeah, the stars really do have to fucking just line up.
Like, you can't just have to want it. You can't have just people that can do it. It has to have both of that and also, like, be greenlit and then not be put into development hell. And people that, like, want to play it. Like, there's too many things.
Yeah. Just making games and hoping to make a profit. It's very...
Not a good business practice.
It's amazing that any game really makes it to the business, like to the market.
Yeah.
Like, how much it has to go through.
Go all and see what sticks. I mean, like, what's a new franchise? Like, in general, a franchise that we've gotten recently. Like, that
Super
has,
Lucky Tail? Super Lucky Tail?
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of
when
just
did
been...
a franchise like to start?
I'm trying to think, because there's like...
What do you mean a new franchise?
Too easy. Like a new IP entirely.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes, that one's amazing. That one was completely from the ground up, and that was amazing. But it still took a lot to find just that one out of all the like classic IPs.
I mean, Cuphead is another one. Like,
but that one's been...
I consider it a franchise if it's gotten a sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's gotten a sequel, that's when I would consider it a franchise.
Bubsy. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh god. That's another dead one.
Like, it's really hard to start a franchise.
When the games are just bad, that will lead to often a dead franchise. In the case of Bubsy.
Like, for a franchise to it would work, you need to have like a good 1-2 second.
Yeah. What about let's talk about Gex.
Get past that.
Because Gex was good. The first Gex was like a good game. And then the sequel was just very overly ambitious and did not do anything right. And then Gex 3, which no one remembers, myself included.
I don't even remember what this franchise is.
It's the gecko who goes into the internet world.
Oh, I do remember that. God.
He goes into the internet world.
So many TV show references.
Because like I couldn't recognize that. I thought that was going to be just bland in general, just from the look of it.
Yeah.
I can kill a game too, like if it doesn't have good advertising, or like I can't like it from just. Like, you have to have good advertising for it to like succeed, you know.
What about Mass Effect? Would you guys consider Mass Effect dead? Because I personally would.
When was the last Mass Effect game?
Andromeda.
Recently, but it was kind of not really.
I'd say Mass Effect 3 was the last one that was actually kind of good.
Mass Effect 3 was good. You don't have to say kind of. It was good.
I mean, I don't
It
know.
wasn't phenomenal like the other two, but it was good. And I enjoyed Andromeda. It just wasn't what the other ones were. Which, hurt it.
Okay, what do you think would take? I mean, to revive any specific series, what do you think would be the best thing?
A caring, um, a caring, passionate developer and director who want the game to succeed and want to do everything they can, as well as with like good advertisement and all that kind of stuff, as well as a fan base that is starved and really, really wants things to go well and like wants a new game. All of those things combined, and the hard work, and maybe a delay or two to make sure everything is perfect. I don't have a problem with that. I think those would
Delaying
be
that,
like the best ways. Yeah, I think those would be the
but like
best
actually make
ways.
sure it's correct and built correctly.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to
Like
revive a
revive.
franchise.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot of requirements, but it is understandable. You know, this
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
thing of like it can't go into full obscurity too. It has to be something that people somewhat know.
yeah.
yeah.
It
And people have to like what's the word? People like I just had it. Hold on. You have to
have
um
passionate people wanting the game to be
well
able to
that
play it.
yes. Yes, but all right, keep talking. I'll remember. I
Overall,
don't
like we said before, stars need to tell a lot
yeah.
to
Yeah.
revive or even to like keep itself in development.
So many
Yeah.
things need to. It needs to be the right place at the right time with the right people and the right environment.
And even then, it could still fail.
Yeah, it could
People could
absolutely
just
still
Yeah,
straight up
fail.
not like it.
it can. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's too different from the first one, despite being a
That's what I was
really
going to
good
say.
game.
You can't be trying too many new things when you're trying to revive a franchise.
But
That would be like
you can't try too many new things, but you can't have nothing changed.
New.
yeah, 'cause there's a reason why a franchise died in the first place. So you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. A franchise doesn't just die for no reason. It dies for a reason, one reason or another. So you have to like figure out what those reasons are and make sure that they don't repeat themselves.
Know why a game is failing. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
people
then
could also just be like, I mean, developers and like people like Greenlight could also be oblivious and tone deaf to what those could be. In like the game series will just fail. So,
yes. Um God. We could talk about Castlevania,
Yeah, that's a good one to talk about.
but I say we will be right back, everybody. We're gonna take a 5 minute break. And when we come back, we will be talking about games like Castlevania, the Konami Curse, and a lot of
Metal Gear.
the Curse of Konami franchises, Contra, Castlevania, Ghouls and Ghosts, and of course Metal Gear. So with that, we'll be right back.
Hello.
All right,
Welcome.
James.
I was gonna say, like to remind everyone if you disagree with our opinion on things, make sure to say so in the comments.
Oh, please
Uh,
do.
make sure to tell us what you think we said wrong or what we got wrong or misinterpreted.
Or just yell at our
Or
voices.
just tell us that we're dumb. Leave a
Just
comment
yeah,
telling us we're dumb.
just yell. Just say how much you hate our voice.
Be as internet-y as you can. Yelling at us. Gives us more clicks.
Tell us everything you want to know. Tell us everything that you want us to hear.
Or give us
We need to go to
suggestions on the
threads.
next... Yeah, give us suggestions on a podcast topic. We'd always welcome that.
Heavily consider it.
So where we left off, we were just about to talk about the Konami Curse. Everybody's very fond of the Konami Code. 2 up, 2 down, left, right, B, A, start. But people don't really think about the Curse of Konami and what it has done to many people. Nay, let's say Hideo Kojima, the face of the company, who was literally pushed out by the company. But let's not talk about that for a moment. That's the bigger topic for later. First, I would love to bring to the conversation the very niche game, very difficult game, Ghouls and Ghosts, or as some people might know it, Ghosts and Goblins. This game is one of the hardest games to ever play. It is super difficult, super fun, but it's just impossible. And yeah, I don't have much else to say about it, other than the fact that it's dead. And the reason it's dead is because Konami sucks, and they don't like to make games for their fans.
No, they made a recent version of it.
Yeah, but it's the same game. They didn't make a sequel. They haven't done anything new to the game at all.
That's true. So it's basically dead, but they don't want people to think it's dead.
Yeah, it's dead like how you always are in that.
Yeah.
Get it? Because you're always dead. Ha! Just laugh at my jokes!
Ha 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 ha.
Just pity laugh, please.
Ha 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 ha.
I will laugh when you earn it.
Just pity laugh, please. Could you imagine, like, this is the man I chose to be my lifelong comedy partner, and he's just like, just pity laugh, please. Come on, man.
No, you don't deserve it. Work for it more.
Oof.
Try harder. Do better.
Do better.
Anyway, like Konami needs to do better with managing the franchise.
Yeah.
And basically, a lot of them are just dying because, of bad ownership practices.
Yeah, I mean, Konami must be one of, if not the worst place to work. I have never heard anything good about people working from Konami. I haven't. I don't know if any of you have, but I have not.
I haven't.
I haven't heard a thing good about that company.
All I've heard is
and they have
they have such good franchises, and all they really are known for are making cheap pachinko games and making like cheap games. Like, did you see what they did to Contra?
Contra is a phenomenal game. I love Contra. It's very hard, but it's very fun. It's very rewarding when you beat a level, and it's not impossible like Ghouls and Ghosts. But like, no, they'll never really do another one. I bought the Anniversary series on my Switch, and plays really good, actually, in my opinion. Plays pretty good. Never gonna see it again. And that's really upsetting, because Contra is the side-scroll shooter game. Side-scroll beat-em-up shooter. That spawned that genre, or at least popularized it. And I think it's a criminal disservice for them to just not care. And I don't understand why. Like, why do you guys think they don't make another Contra game? You think it's just because Konami sucks, or
no?
like,
It's
why do you
because
think
they don't want to put in money to what is known as a classic franchise. Like, have you seen Contra Rogue Corps?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's absolutely terrible. That's because they did not want to put any sort of money in it. They just wanted the name to raise itself up, and that's not how games work.
That's not how it works. I didn't know that, but that's not how that works. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's a sin. That's just a sin.
Yeah.
I hate Konami so much.
Yeah, Konami owns a lot of game franchises, and they really shouldn't because they don't know how to treat them.
They should really sell them off. It would make them more money. They could still keep their name on on like the games, like made, like originated by whatever. Like so, they could still earn a part of the money. But like the fans would still get what they fucking want. Like sell those franchises. You're not using them. Get rid of them, you fucking swines.
Wow.
I hate Konami. Don't get me started on Konami. They're
Yeah,
all right.
Konami
Do you guys have
sucks.
any other franchises you'd like to talk about before the big two?
Why don't we talk about Castlevania?
Well, I said before the big two. Is there any other
Ah.
ones you guys?
Uh,
Because the big two are obviously Metal Gear and Castlevania.
oh, that's what you meant by the big two. Okay.
Yeah. Well, is there another one?
No, I forgot about Metal Gear. As you do.
I mean, a lot of stuff has been like, I mean, fans like them. Said it was shit business practice.
Yeah.
Like it has everything except like for a good company to like manage the game.
Yeah.
That's its
Pretty much.
issue.
Which is important.
Is Silent Hill Konami?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Silent Hill is one of the. I'm a horror fanatic. Silent Hill is a dead franchise, through and through. And it is one of the all-time greats in horror games, and I think it's. PT was one of the scariest things that I ever saw, and I never got to see it like what it was going to be, and that really is disappointing. And it's because of Konami, and they're falling out with Hideo Kojima, and because of how like awful they just are. They don't know what they're doing half the time. I feel like,
Yeah.
and it shows.
Same with another Konami franchise. Ever heard of Bomberman?
Oh, Bomberman! I completely forgot that was Konami.
I remember Bomberman R. That's something that came out, but that was
was a few years ago.
Yeah, and I bought it. It was good with the multiplayer. Single player was absolutely god awful.
Oh, who plays Bomberman for the single player?
Oh, when you can only unlock the exclusive like Silent Hill costumes in the single player, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I guess that's valid. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did that. I'm a completionist, so I know that. I'm just like, no, I'm not even gonna bother with that.
That is true. Everybody, you should know. Joey is a completionist. Myself and James are, for the most part, not.
I try to complete stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a completionist. I try to get as much as I can done, but I'm not going to go for 100% most of the time. Just because I don't.
Like, if I enjoy a franchise, I'll go for 100%. If it's like somewhat easy, I'll go for 100%. If not, then I'll go for as much as I want to do.
Joey, that is just not true. You always go for 100%.
I don't go for 100% on Overwatch. Fuck that.
You don't want to go that has a lot and then there's too much achievements or like impossible. You just don't try it.
Yeah.
Like Yakuza, I'm doing it for Yakuza 0. I'm doing that ever again for Yakuza. Because just the mini games are so not okay to keep doing over.
Would you guys consider Final Fantasy dead?
No, not at all.
No. It literally got Final Fantasy remake. We had Final Fantasy 15.
Because I'm kind of like, it's very oversaturated for me.
But I wouldn't consider, but that's for you though. I wouldn't consider it else.
Alright, that's fair. I was just asking.
Especially like when the Final Fantasy games are always trying.
They're always pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. They're never really bad games. I just feel like, I guess that's kind of like Pokemon. Like, they're never really bad. It's just like, sometimes there's just too many. I mean, I don't know. But again, it's just me.
Yeah.
Tired is a good
Alright. enough dilly-dallying. Let's go into Castlevania. We'll save the big one for last. Let's go into Castlevania.
Well,
All
this does-
three of us here have played a Castlevania game, with James probably having played the most.
I don't know about that.
Didn't you say that you like? Wasn't that what we talked about the last time?
I
Like, you
played a lot of the earlier Castlevanias.
And I've
After
played
that-
basically one of the later ones.
I've played. Oh, then maybe I've played most of the most.
Yeah, because I've played like a lot of the 2D ones, and then I've played some of the 3D ones, like one or two of them.
Like, I have not played any of the three.
Wait, hold on a second. It's totally off topic, and I'm sorry. I'm playing RL Craft, which is a mod pack for Minecraft, and I was just broke a piece of dirt, and a painting came out of it instead of dirt, and I'm trying to build up and get out of this hole, and now I've just got a painting in my inventory instead of what I need, and I'm like, what do I do with this?
Fuck it.
Anyway,
Hanging on the dirt wall.
I guess.
Hang it on the dirt wall.
But yeah. Anyway, Castlevania is. When was the last Castlevania game? It's been a while, but like, when was it?
I think it was like
Did somebody
Lords of
look
the
that up?
It was like a Lords of the Shadow spin-off on the
Yes.
3DS, I believe.
Have
I'm just trying. I can't remember the year. Can somebody pull up the
Castlevania
year?
game on the 3DS.
Yeah, I'll look it up. It's because I know the last one that was released was just like a redux of the old ones. Because of course it was. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 came out in 2014, and then the Mirror of Fate, which is the 3DS one, is 2013. So Jesus Christ. That's a character
while.
that was in the game. Possibly. I don't know.
Yes, man, goodness.
I know Death was the character.
I went from facing him to playing as
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, there's just a lot.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
How well did it do in sales? Because I don't even
They
remember.
did not do very well.
Like, because I can remember the greats of Castlevania, but if it just dies off without anyone like games that came after
Lords
the
of
greats.
Shadow's best score it got from Metacritic was 70 out of 100, and that's
That's not that bad, but I mean,
but it's
like,
not
also,
it's not good for Castlevania.
No, it's not good.
buy it.
Also, that was a 3D hack and slash Castlevania. Like when people think about Castlevania, they think the 2D games.
Yeah, because they're the good ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones that like they can get the nostalgia.
Yeah. Castlevania, therefore, it is safe to say, has not been loved the way that it should be. In a very long time. Castlevania is a defining. Oh God, Castlevania is a defining franchise in the Metroidvania style of games. Hence this name, Metroid fucking Vania. You know, it is its own thing. But what's upsetting is that Konami, once again, does not care to make the games.
Like good work.
They don't care enough to make the games that people want them to make. And it's disheartening, to say the least.
Oh, completely. It is so unfortunate to see a franchise like Castlevania just
Hit the wayside.
Yeah,
Heard of
it's angering, honestly. It's infuriating because I love Castlevania. I've played the shit out of a lot of the games. I didn't know I had played the most, or I would have started this conversation a little differently. But the games are just iconic. And I mean like what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. Like, is one of the most popular lines in video games. It's everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. And they just don't care. And I don't understand that. Like, why not make
How
another
would Konami
game?
doing as a country? I mean, company in
A
general.
country. Konami as a country.
If it was a country, it would just be batshit terrible.
Oh, it'd be
but,
incredibly terrible. But that's besides the point. Konami has just so many beloved franchises, and they just don't do anything with them. Or they keep them around slightly so that they can still, like, have them, and it's not in the public domain.
And
Of course they would do that.
with that perfect segue, let's go into the big one. Metal Gear / Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid will never return.
Phantom Blood.
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain. God, I am tired.
Phantom Pain is one of my favorite games ever made.
Phantom.
I made a JoJo reference, didn't I?
Yes, you did. That was a JoJo's reference. God damn it. Of course.
Was that a JoJo's reference? I'm just kidding.
It was.
It
I
was.
didn't intend it, but it was.
I am
Phantom Pain.
very angry.
Phantom Pain. I said Phantom Pain, Phantom Menace. I made a JoJo's and a Star Wars reference.
God damn it.
It was. Oh my god.
Okay, so Mike, continue.
Sorry.
Phantom Pain is one of my favorite games ever made, and it is a very... I get upset, like genuinely upset, every time I think about the fact that we'll never see another good Metal Gear game. Because of how they basically bullied, Kojima out of the company, even though he was the one making the company good. And, I mean... Yeah, Metal Gear Survive came out, but look at how well that did. So for people that are saying that the only way a game can be dead is if it has no games, yeah, okay, fine, big shot, but that's not exactly how this works. Because we know that there won't be another Metal Gear game because of what they did. We can already consider it dead because of how they handled the situation and how everything went down.
And
we don't need to wait.
Yeah, even if they do make one, it's not going to be the same. It's absolutely
and it's not going to be good, evidenced by Survive.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be good. And Metal Gear is one of the world's most popular franchises. It appeals to just about everyone. The shooting aspect appeals to the casuals. The adventure aspect appeals to the classical gamers. Like, it appeals to just about everyone. And it's got its own appeal of being a stealthy game and an incredible story. And we'll never see it again. Think about that. Like, for a second. We'll never see another truly good Metal Gear game because of what Konami has done.
In fact, Konami's actually been trying to forget the series because they unlisted it off of the Xbox store recently.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Really?
The Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 collection for 360?
Yeah.
They unlisted it.
It hurts like when a company just abandons the game. Like, basically
Wait, that means you can't get it, right?
You cannot get it anymore. At least on stores. Which is why emulation... And please emulate any Konami game you can find your hands on. Suck any money that you can out of them. Never give them your money.
Yeah, I'm usually very against things like that, but fuck that. Emulate any Metal Gear game you can find. Like, Konami game period, but keep Metal Gear alive. I know we'll never see another one, but we need to come together. Yeah, we need to come together and make sure that it doesn't die because of them.
Maybe a fan in the future will make a Metal Gear.
Or maybe we'll start a legal team and we'll force the rights out of them and give it to Kojima.
I don't think that's possible.
From now we'll go into public domain.
I don't know if it is impossible, considering the fact that Konami doesn't want it.
They don't want it, but they don't want to lose grip of it.
Well, then keep their name on it. That's fine. Keep
They
their name
would
on
have
it, but
to
let
make
us
a
get
game,
more
though.
games.
They would have to make a game though for it.
Oh God, I
In
don't
order for
want
it
to.
to be
I
parental
don't
on
want
it.
to see a throwaway Metal Gear game. No, that sounds
No,
terrible.
I'm saying keep like sell the franchise, but make it so that you keep your name on it. Oh well, you make some money off it. We'll give some money to Konami. Fine, but at least the heart in the franchise will still be there, and the right people will be making it. I could live with that. Believe it or not, I can't live with never getting another Metal Gear game, or at least another good one.
Yeah.
It's just depressing that that's what we live in now because of them, and I hate it.
Understandable.
I hate them.
Do we
Yeah.
want to move
Konami's
away
like one of the
from
worst companies ever.
We talked
Yeah.
about Konami for about 30 minutes, so do we want to... I mean, they're on topic, being like dead franchise central, but
Yeah, I was gonna say they are the king of dead franchises, so I don't know.
I have
I
another
feel
dead
like we should
franchise. James, you're probably not going to like this, but I'm going to mention another company that's almost as bad, if not worse, than Konami. That Overwatch. Let's just consider Overwatch a dead franchise at this point.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 isn't going to come out anytime soon, as it keeps on getting delayed and pushed back. Plus all the
Yeah.
controversy around it. It just, I mean,
Yep.
it will be dead on. It's dead before arrival, we should say.
Yeah.
Okay, fill me in. What's going on with this?
There's been
Oh,
constant delays, pushbacks, people leaving the project, people leaving Blizzard in general.
yes, because
Well,
have you heard the stuff
Blizzard's a
about
shit
Blizzard?
show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blizzard's a
It's
shit show,
pretty
isn't it?
good, though.
Blizzard
I would
was
like,
kind of okay before Activision dug its greedy
Yeah.
hands into it, and now it's
Activision
Activision
kinda,
Blizzard.
polluted it by a lot. So in case it polluted everything else around it, made it all shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not to forget that there was some bad stuff from like those companies originally, but I mean Activision made it worse. Like the whole big controversy of the free Hong Kong thing.
Yeah.
Mostly caused by
Oh,
Activision.
right, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly people forget about it, but that was the reason people stepped away from it. But like Activision was the reason for that. Like, oh, we don't want to lose all our China sales. You tell them that, or China's basically going to cut off they're just going to cut off like all production of like Blizzard games there. They're not going to let Blizzard games in through, so they're just like, revoke his stuff, ban him, or we're losing all our profits, and that means we're also cutting like Overwatch out.
That's sick.
Yeah.
But in the sense, it still also killed the game and the franchise.
That's awful. That's sickening.
Yep. And now people who are waiting for Overwatch 2 for at least something, because they're not releasing any more actual content for Overwatch
Not like getting
until
cinematics, or we're not even getting cinematics or anything. Like we got the Overwatch 2 cinematic, and people were like getting hyped for that in that
yeah.
trailer, and you know that
Now
was
it's
like how many years ago?
now it's
That
radio
was a year.
silence.
Yeah, radio silence completely because development teams keep on getting switched out or leaving entirely or getting cut or the date gets pushed back.
Yes.
So it's in
So
development hell, we should say.
yeah. And we all know how that ends.
I mean, there's
We
one
do.
reason that franchise is getting kept alive, but I probably shouldn't. So if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know why it's being kept alive, you know. If you know, you know. How about games that kill other games, like that make them dead? Like
What do you mean?
I remember Among Us killed Fall Guys basically, like when it first came out.
I thought it was the other way around.
I mean, no, Fall Guys was like immediately when Fall Guys was coming out. Among Us gained popularity and like basically killed everyone that was going towards it. Like when you get like a similar when you get another game that's hot at the time, it like completely traction for another game. I mean, Fall Guys is like recovered now after that.
Yeah.
After everyone got over Among Us.
Among Us!
But it did cut its sales, but it did cut it like by a lot. It did cut its popularity by a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
Among Us got killed by Friday Night Funkin', I should say. Like when there's a popular game, it can just immediately kill another game's like popularity and make it a dead game.
That's fair.
That's another
I
thing we need to
understand that.
consider, like competition too. Like the gaming industry overall is competitive. So
Yes.
Completely.
like if you're not competitive or like you can't beat another game that is popular, your game is going to be dead.
Your game is going to fail.
Exactly.
Very good point.
I should probably say like would you ever try and first person shooter going up against Halo and Call of Duty or even
Would I? No.
No, I just think it's a bad idea. Like
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point.
Your franchise
You
would be
wouldn't,
dead in the
like-
water.
That's another thing with like what is it? Like, it's very hard to make a big new JRPG. It's not impossible. But when you're going up against the likes of Final Fantasy, Trails in the Sky, Tales, Ys, you're going up against Pokemon, you're going up against all of these things that are never going to really die, and they're never going to really fail. And
Well, in that case, then like it would be hard for any to make a game that doesn't die too. I should say in that case.
well,
like,
no, 2D
indie
platformers
developers-
are easy.
I'm saying like to make it a franchise. Like an indie developer cannot like really make a franchise.
Indie
Not
developers
often,
are
like-
best at making games
Like
singular.
FNAF was a franchise.
Yes, and that was very
That
lucky.
managed that. It was very lucky. I would say, would you consider the Undertale Delta
Yeah.
series like also a franchise? But
Well,
like,
yeah.
those are lucky and like have good like dedicated fan bases.
Yeah. I would consider yeah, that's a franchise.
But it's hard to get one of those. Like,
Plus, I mean, it's not really a dedicated like JRPG or anything. Sure, it's turn-based, but it includes some action elements into it.
Yeah.
but I was gonna say, besides those like indie games, what other?
What else would you guys? So let's talk. You guys want to talk about Portal?
Yeah, sure.
Portal. I mean, that's just Valve making a game dead because they don't want to do a third installment, like an exact number 3. Because at that point, you could consider Half-Life dead, but they do have Alex.
Well, that's not a third, or that's not a.
It's not a third installment, but they do have some series.
Okay, fine, James.
I mean, but another thing I would also say, TF2 hasn't gotten a lot, like ever recently.
And the thing is, it would have been fine if
The community
not.
is what's keeping it alive. It's
Yeah.
I would say it's in the process of dying.
Yeah, it's in the process of dying because guess what? There are so many bots.
There's
And it's-
bots, no new content.
No new content. They would have been like fine
Radio
with it.
silence.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
I'd say it's mostly just the bots, which came from COVID and people being assholes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, again, bad timing can also like mess with a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
COVID messed up a lot of things for a lot of people.
oh,
especially
definitely.
gaming.
COVID sucks.
Absolutely.
And
Fuck
things are
COVID.
getting moving now, but not as much as they were before.
I'm putting a mending book on a trumpet.
Amending Trump. Okay.
Um,
I don't
Yes.
want to lose my Duke machine.
So, because there are like dead franchises, things that made those franchises dead, things that are making franchises dead.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts made that game dead. Killed the franchise. essentially.
Yeah. There was hope for a good Banjo-Kazooie game before that, but it kind of
Was
just
there?
died out. Kind of.
I disagree with that, but go on.
Because, I mean, Microsoft, yes, they just got the franchise for just not being able to have Nintendo have it, but still, at that time, like, think about the time, it wasn't exactly completely dead. People still had some hopes. I'm not saying the biggest of hopes, I'm just saying at least not zero. Bigger than zero.
I disagree with you, but I understand what you're saying.
Yes. Because the thing is, after Nuts and Bolts came out, people just kind of went, okay, this game is dead completely.
Yeah, I mean, it was awful.
Because, yeah,
There-
I'm going to say the biggest reason why I thought that people, or I think that people had hopes for a new Banjo-Kazooie game is, do you remember the trailer for Banjo 3E after
Yeah.
Microsoft? That's what brought hopes back. And then they released
Yeah, it
Nuts
was
and Bolts.
good. It was a good trailer.
Yes. What happened to it?
I mean, yeah, expectations will kill. Expectations for a game.
Yes, people expected Banjo 3 because that's what it looked like.
Say Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. Oh,
Oh
The
god.
expectations for Cyberpunk were too big for actually see it properly.
Cyberpunk sucked.
Yeah.
Maybe they could change it. Like No Man's Sky, like it's going the same way of that. Not good.
No Man's Sky is better, but the
I'm saying
problem with
it's
No
better,
Man's
but, like that's because they decided to improve it after.
Yeah, No
Yeah.
Man's Sky, the problem with that was the fact that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't do what they said they were going to.
They couldn't because someone they couldn't the thing is they couldn't because someone from the team left and took all that work with them. So they were kind of just stuck with, well, we've got nothing. We have to ship something. And so
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no. I right-clicked my dragon egg and now it's gone. Where'd it go?
What? That's a big oof.
Oh, I found it. It's on the roof.
Raise the roof.
But yeah.
Timing
can kill it. What were we talking about?
Expectations.
What about Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah. Ninja Gaiden is
I haven't heard of it
yeah.
in a while.
There are spiritual successors, kind of like with Konami games like Castlevania. There's Blood, or not Blood Rain. It's
Bloodstained.
Bloodstained.
Ritual of the Night.
Yes, Ritual of the Night, and then the Curse of the Moon games. And yeah, but okay, I completely lost my train of thought. What game were we talking about?
No, we were talking about like games in the same vein.
Yeah, games in the same vein.
Ninja Gaiden was what I was talking about.
Ninja Gaiden, and I was talking about okay, I was gonna bring things to their spiritual successors like The Messenger, which is an amazing game. It is an amazing Ninja Gaiden type game.
What's it called?
The Messenger.
I'll look into it. Because I like Ninja
It
Gaiden.
is really fun.
Ninja Gaiden would be the Souls games.
And then there's a Yacht Club's Ninja Gaiden type game that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are spiritual successors, but Ninja Gaiden itself kind of dead. Yeah, Cyber Shadow, but Ninja Gaiden.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have an extensive library of of different things.
Do we want to talk about GTA? Because recently they did some remaster.
Well, but GTA 5 is still going strong.
GTA 5 is going strong, but they haven't released it like a new iteration of the game. They haven't given you GTA 6 yet.
I would not consider GTA
I know they're
dead.
expanding on GTA Online, and I'm saying
I would not consider GTA dead.
What about the GTA trilogy remakes?
Dead, but I feel like it's underutilized.
I wouldn't agree with that because you don't necessarily need to, as long as they're still putting things out for the games that are out there. Like Smash Ultimate, would we consider Smash dead? Smash Ultimate came out over 3 years ago now.
But GTA 5 came out like how long ago? I
It
remember
came out
I don't
during
know.
the 360 era.
Exactly.
But it's still been
During
going
the
strong.
360 era.
Is Mario
When
Kart dead?
it had a
It hasn't had a
sequel.
game in a while.
No, it's had a new one. Not as long
Mario
as
Kart?
GTA, I would say. Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Actually,
yes.
it's around the same area because it was the Wii. That game came out during the Wii U era, and then the Switch just made a newer version of it.
But like nobody considers Mario Kart dead.
Uh,
It's
Mario Kart.
it's
Never
two
gonna die.
It's two different things. Number one, like games as a service. When do they die?
When the company stops funding them.
Oh, like Anthem.
I
This
would
is a
say
great segue into Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem's dead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I mean, community's trying to keep it alive, but like that's if you put it in the hands of the community.
Yeah, like
All
Valve
right,
did, kind of.
I think we should take one last break. I have one last big one that I want to talk about. I will tell you guys during the break, and we'll come back real strong with it. You guys will be like, "How did we forget this?" And I know we're taking our last break a little early, but that's because this isn't a very lengthy topic of discussion. It's not like gaming difficulty or gaming combat. It's a little more towards our personalities than some of those. So it's a little less lengthy. But we do have another nice chunk of content for you all. We will be right back, and we will tell you about the next week's episode. And yeah, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Gameroom Discourse. Where we left off, we had talked about the curse of the Konami business, the Konami Curse. What we are about to talk about is a game that you guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about, and it's because, truthfully, it was on my list, but I left it at the bottom, so I didn't look at it.
Of course.
Conker. Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of the best games ever made, in my humble opinion. Many would disagree because of its raunchy aesthetic. However, I think that's just what makes it better. And the fact that it was on the N64, priceless. I mean, that game is in and of itself a parody of Nintendo, and published and developed by Nintendo and Rare. So I love it, and I am absolutely baffled by the fact that Rare didn't make a sequel before they were bought it. I also wonder why Rare got bought out. I don't know why they let themselves get bought, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, it's complicated.
But yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Am I mistaken in saying the two of you have played that or not?
I play little.
James?
I haven't.
I have played it and beaten it a few times over. Thanks to Joey showing me the emulator the other day.
Yeah.
I emulated that game and I beat it in about 48 hours because I didn't stop playing it for about 30.
Makes sense.
That's not a joke. That's not actually a joke. I put about 26 straight hours into Conker's Bad Fur Day when I learned the emulator, and then I slept for about a few hours. Woke up and went straight back into it, and one of the best games I've ever played. Absolutely hilarious, totally like self-aware, and just brilliant. And I am baffled that a company like Microsoft, who doesn't really have morals, I'm surprised that they haven't made another.
Yeah, it is weird that they haven't.
Like,
I mean, they remade the game in like one of the worst remakes ever for the Xbox, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm amazed that they have not made another one, considering they don't really care about what's in their games. They've got some very raunchy games themselves and some raunchy aesthetics. So it's really shocking to me that a game like that, which has the nostalgic view, which they don't have because Microsoft doesn't have nostalgia because Microsoft's a terrible company. And like the fact that they're always looking for something to get them that nostalgic price, that nostalgic money. Use Conquer. Like, why haven't you? It can't be hard. It's old software, which we've mastered 30 years ago. Like,
okay, you're gonna hate this for what
how?
they actually have used Conquer.
Yeah, they've used them as a test dummy for
Project Spark and for the
yeah,
HoloLens.
Yeah, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
So they did use him, just in the completely wrong way.
They didn't really use him.
Wanted to.
You can't count that as using him.
I mean, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can't, but
I was gonna say that's not using him. That's as close as using him as me using a fucking G Fuel, whatever. Like, no. Incorrect.
well,
Bad.
it's fiction. Never happened. Hydra
Go back
for
and
life.
think about what you've done.
Bad, no. Go in the timeout room.
Over shielded, he killed. Oh, that was back.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm playing Halo Infinite completely.
Yes. We're all playing some sort of game in the background.
I'm playing RLCraft.
I'm playing Hexels.
What's Hexels?
It's a puzzle
I know
game.
what it is, but what is it?
It's a puzzle game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very fun, but it's a puzzle game.
Puzzle games, Professor Layton. Why is that not coming back?
Because the last one they made was like the Switch remake of a 3DS game.
No, the last one they made was a completely new game.
Really?
Catriel's Mystery Girl.
That was originally on... Hold on, let me look it up.
No, that was new. I don't believe that was I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
It's the deluxe edition, which I think is a 3DS game that was remade. Yeah, it was originally a 3DS game. Came out in 2019 worldwide, which is still pretty recent, but it's a 3DS game.
Yeah, I mean that's not too far behind.
Oh wait, no, Nintendo 3DS 2017, Nintendo Switch 2019.
That's still not that long ago. It's only 4 years.
Yeah, but the 3DS is it's not really alive.
I mean, yeah. But, you know, neither is the Wii U, and Breath of the Wild came back.
It was on the Switch.
So was Catriel's Layton mystery thing.
Except it didn't release simultaneously. It was a remake.
Whatever. Anyway.
Basically, Breath of the Wild is considered a port.
Is it?
It's a port of a game.
That's sad.
It was on the Wii U originally, and it went to the Switch. But it's supposed to be known for its Switch copy.
That's a sad thought, that Breath of the Wild is just a port.
I mean, Mario Maker is also one.
Odyssey's a port.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Odyssey was a launch title.
Yeah, it was a launch title with the Switch.
Yeah, it never came out on the...
What was the other one that came out on the 3DS that was... Or not 3DS, the Wii U that was ported over? There was another big game. I forget what it was.
I don't remember, actually.
Mario Kart.
A Pokemon game?
Oh, Mario Kart came out... Mario Kart came out like 3 months after the game console came out.
Mm-hmm.
They got a different Mario Kart, I think.
No, it was the same.
Mm-mm.
Was it?
It was the same.
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah. We have not gotten Mario Kart 9.
Yes.
Keep on getting this.
How could you? I can't believe you. You're not a gamer.
You're not a gamer.
Konami comment section.
What about like? I want a new Star Fox game. I just want a new.
You want a new Star Fox game?
I just want one, man.
You want it to not be dead.
Okay, how about we remake Star Fox Guard? Would you like that?
Yes. No.
Oh,
But
get like a private company and pay them enough.
Revive Rare. Just revive. You have the money to do it. Just do it already.
Except it's owned by Microsoft.
Take it back.
But I don't think they want to give it away.
Well, did Nintendo want to give it away?
Kind of, yeah. They were kind of just like, we don't want to pay the money to own it completely, so we'll just let it die. Yes. Yeah, if there's anything that I know, it's game history, kind of.
My opinion has changed.
Mike will remember that.
I mean,
my opinion has changed.
I would like to switch to probably online.
Well, Donkey Kong. What about Donkey Kong Country?
I'm saying that would keep it alive, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Well, what about Donkey Kong Country? That's pretty gone.
In a way, kind of, but I mean, the most recent game was for the Wii U.
Yeah, and most games that were there died.
Most games here died. I got ported. Oh, jeez.
I mean, it did get ported to the Switch.
It did get ported, and it did okay. I have it. It's good, but
Same. No, it's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But
it's not there. What about Bioshock? I just remembered Bioshock off the top of my head. That's gone.
Yeah. Bioshock Infinite was the last one.
Dead.
Bioshock needs to come back.
I don't know. The story kind of.
I mean,
yeah. That's
one that I feel like come back that has a story is freaking Half-Life.
Yeah, because the story kind of ended on a cliffhanger. Games that have stories that end on a beautiful bow on the top of it.
Yeah, like Mother. I get it.
It's fine if they're there and they don't get a sequel.
That's fine.
It's more of a retirement.
It's dead, but it's dead for it's good. It's
died peacefully. A game that died peacefully.
I respect when a franchise can end.
Yeah.
Like Mother, I want another one, but at the same time, no, leave it alone. Because I know if it tried to come back, it would be fucked. Yeah. Another big one that I wanted to talk about was Kid Icarus. I loved Uprising, and it did phenomenally. So I have no idea why it's not back. Why there hasn't been another one?
Arthritis.
Arthritis.
Have you ever tried playing it?
I've beaten it. I own it.
Have you ever tried playing it with adult hands?
Yes.
Damn. I guess I just have fucked up hands.
We have big hands, so remember.
Yeah, we both have big hands.
I'm not saying it didn't hurt but it was enjoyable to. I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah, plus I mean the controls are really weird.
They are weird. That's a valid statement, but they could just change them.
Yeah, but then would it be the same game? Of course it would. It's just that Nintendo doesn't like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you talking about? That it would be fine, and then you followed up with that. I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't like remaking things or putting things...
Changing controls. They don't like changing controls.
Except for when it's like a critically acclaimed one, then of course they will, because they're not gonna... It's weird. They do it when it's completely critical acclaimed and popular, but when it's something that's popular but still kind of niche, they don't bother.
That's why they've never done Ice Climbers again.
Yeah, Ice Climbers is pretty.
Yo, remember the re-release of Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt
for the Wii that had for the Wii U that had pointer controls. That was actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Would you guys consider Pac-Man dead? Because they just kind of remake the same thing.
Pac-Man is again. I would say
it's a classic. Pac-Man will never be dead.
Yeah, would you consider Tetris dead? Because every single game is kind of just the same. Coming from the Tetris gamer.
I mean, Tetris 99 added the whole battle.
Yeah, no, Tetris is definitely more alive than Pac-Man. with Tetris 99, I would say.
There's a Pac-Man 99.
I begrudgingly agree.
I begrudgingly agree.
Because I don't want to admit the Battle Royale, but it's
a Battle Royale.
I don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Battle Royales are just bleh. But they never die. Except for when they do.
They never do.
I can't wait for the Tulip Mania thing to happen.
I mean,
the Battle Royales.
Doing pretty well.
I want Okami to come back. I want a sequel to Okami, like a genuine sequel, not Okami Den, where it's just the same fucking. Like, I know Okami Den's technically a sequel, everybody. I get it, I know, but you're wrong. It's not. It's the same game. They just decided to say that it was a sequel. It's the same thing, just with smaller sprites.
What? Isn't that different?
No.
Not different enough.
It's the same thing, and I hate it. It's so good. I love it, but it's not the same. It's not.
I hate it. It's so good. I love it.
It's such a love-hate relationship. I want a genuine sequel to Okami. Like, I want to see Amaterasu come back. I want him to come back. Wow, I really ran out of breath from that.
That's how you know it's a good rant.
It's so not a sequel. Okami Den is so not a sequel, and for them to just be like, oh yeah, it's Amaterasu's daughter. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Amaterasu. Just stop it. Stop taunting me. Stop it.
No, never. Never.
Well, I mean, we got Okami HD, which kind of, which was
great.
I think that brought up your thirst for a new Okami game.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I played it, and I have 75 hours in that game. And it's a 40-hour game.
Okay, I think we're going to go off topic again.
Well, no, I want another Okami game. It's a dead franchise, and I want it back. It's not off topic, James. Let me rant.
When did it come out? When did it come out?
Okami?
No, the newest installation.
If we're counting HD, sometime after the Switch is. But I'm not, because that's not a new game. The last time it came out was in like 2000 something. Because that's when Okami Den came out. Here, I'll look it up for you.
Okami Den is 2010.
Okami Den is 2010?
Yeah, which rhymes, apparently. Okami is 2006, and Okami HD is 2017.
Yeah, but Okami HD is the same game. It's not a new installation.
And Okami Den is basically the same game. It's
exactly the same. It's not basically. It's the same.
I wouldn't know.
It's just smaller sprites. It's like a baby version of the game.
Oh, you guys want to talk about Super Monkey Ball and Monkey Ball Jr.?
Sure. Monkey Ball is something you're passionate about. Go for it. Go off.
Yes, there hasn't been any new Monkey Ball games for years.
It's not new. Was it a remaster or something?
It's a remaster of Deluxe, and even then, Deluxe is still better than the remaster. And it's just...
Sad.
Oh, there hasn't been a good Monkey Ball game since Deluxe, and that came out during the Xbox era. Not Xbox 360, Xbox.
Xbox.
It's just...
I mean, they made it so that, like, at least see some value in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the same with remakes. Like, it's clear, like, they know they could do money.
They can milk it. Yeah, they know they can milk it without having to make a new one.
Yeah, they just want to make us ravenous before they do.
What about Yoshi's Island? I mean, I've never played one, but like...
Yoshi's Island is pretty fun. It's just... The most recent, newest one is the 3DS Yoshi's New Island, which, in your words, it's just the same, just smaller sprites. Yeah.
Is it really though?
I mean, it has basically the same level design, if not like word for word.
Okay,
everything
then,
the same.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Um,
And it has some differences, but and there's also the like Yoshi's Woolly World and like Yoshi's Yarn, whatever. Yarn Yoshi. There's those two, but they're like 2.5D Yoshi games. It's well, one of them is a 2D one, which is really good, and the other one is a 2.5D game, which is pretty good. It's decent.
I got a notification. I
um,
don't know what for.
What for it means
it's
to
from
be.
me. But I there's not many more games that I could think of that I think deserve or that I want them to come back that we haven't talked about already. I want to check my list real quick, so give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let's not put my headphone cord into the fucking fan blades.
I mean, we still have underutilized.
We could talk about Sly Cooper. I know we kind of like brushed over on that with like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
Jack and Ratchet, yeah.
Yeah. Jack and Daxter, I'd say the first one is the best, and then it kind of went downhill after that.
I love Jack and Daxter. They're all pretty good. But the first one is the best.
First one is the best because it's a traditional 3D platformer, and the rest are kind of just sprinkling every single other genre there is into it.
I love Daxter. He's just so funny.
Yes. Did you ever play the Daxter PSP game?
I did.
I was hoping you would say no, and I would say neither have I.
I don't necessarily like it, but you know, whatever. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, but there's just dead franchises. People forget about them because they're dead. Nobody wants to remember a corpse.
What about you wanted to talk about Sly Cooper? I've played all four, even the fourth one that came kind of recently.
Even the Vita spinoff.
Wait, there's a Vita spinoff?
Yeah, it's just a collection of the mini games that were in Sly 4.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, completely.
That's well, way to just spit in the faces of everyone.
Yeah, it came out a while. Ooh. Mario Strikers.
Oh, I love those games.
I mean, Mario sports games in general.
Yeah.
Like, we just got Mario sideline for Mario and.
We just got Mario Golf, so it can't be Mario sports games.
I mean, that was recent. That one.
Yeah. So. And Mario Tennis is always coming out for some reason.
Mario Tennis got one.
Yeah.
But Mario sports games normally get like cycled.
Yeah, it's usually a tennis game or a baseball.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any like baseball or soccer games in a while.
Yeah.
Like in a long while.
Yeah. And then there's the Olympic Games, so that kind of takes away from that like want to make a new one. But that's why I was very surprised when we got golf. But sorry. Cut that out.
No, I think I'll keep it in.
No.
I think I'll keep it in. It's just a yawn.
In fact, I'll try to make it even louder in the editing.
God damn it.
Well,
no, I won't.
Dead games in general. I want to go back to games that kill other games. They're basically the same thing. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighters. Basically, like, I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom was dying already, but Fighters was like the nail in the coffin.
Fighters is like Voldemort. Fighters was like Voldemort stealing the Elder Wand from Dumbledore's dead body. Like, you have nothing anymore.
Even if you were to revive, I am here. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Fighters destroyed it. It also took the need of it like of a tag fighter from like Marvel vs. Capcom and put it into something that like established IP like Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, because I'm trying to remember. Like what?
Not to say that Marvel and Capcom aren't established, but
yeah,
you know,
I'm just saying it's Marvel vs. Capcom dying, and then like DBZ fighters just came along and it's just like, oh, okay.
I'll pick up where you left off and just do it better.
But like I was saying before, like with Ninja Gaiden dying, and like what took its place in the community hierarchy being the hard game, Souls games.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Ninja Gaiden. They did revive it successfully, and then it died again. So like, the Sigma games, the revived Ninja Gaiden games were good. Until Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge came along, and apparently it was really bad. I haven't gotten to playing it yet, but I just bought the trilogy on Switch, and I'm playing through it now, and my god, is it buttfuck hard. Like, it's Ninja Gaiden, and I'm happy. But it's hard.
I'm just looking at all the fighting games that came out in 2018 that just put the nail in the coffin for Infinite. Fighter Z, of course.
Yeah.
Ultimate came out.
Didn't Street Fighter V come out before that? No?
It came out in like 2016.
Yeah, okay.
And it was still going strong.
Again, Street Fighter did bad on release, but did better going further in.
As someone that spent so much money on Street Fighter V, yes, it really did.
It got better as it went along.
It's not a proud title that I have, but it's a title.
It's not a proud. I'm not proud of it.
Oh, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition came out that year.
Yes, Fighter Arcade Edition.
Which was
fun.
That was a good one. It was a lot better than the original release.
Ignore that. I was cleaning my keyboard. I did not mean to hit enter.
I mean, there's also
the fuck did you do?
Has that killed any fighting game?
The fuck is that?
What happened? What happened?
Okay, I'm saving that and editing that into the podcast. Because the people need to see it.
I was cleaning the buttons on my keyboard. Enter. And so you guys got a message of just... where 33345 FG 300.
Could have, put that.
God damn it! Now I'm tempted to make a good edit over that.
Could have locked your screen there, but anyway.
How? Yeah. How do I do that?
Windows L or there's it's a lot of buttons. Too many buttons. A don't do it and B don't do it.
All right. Did you guys read the topic that I put into the group chat?
Yes. Do you want to discuss the topic now and what our next topic's going to be?
Well, no. Next. Oh yeah, we should talk about what our next week's. And then I want to bring up some other topics.
What most wanted sequels for gaming?
Yeah.
What we want out of a series.
Like Melee. I want Melee to get a sequel.
You're kind
It'll
of.
It'll never, ever happen.
Is it Ultimate, basically the sequel?
And
also, in terms of Melee being dead, don't we have now Nicktoons?
And then we have
I guess
multiverse game,
which is a pretty similar to it, and it's a good replacement, I would say, for it.
Anyway, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
But another topic of discussion for another future episode is I want it to be most wanted gaming sequels because you could pick specific games and franchises. You could just pick franchises as a whole. That's what I kind of meant by that. But we're winding down on the podcast, everyone. This week's episode is just about over.
Yeah, we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
We would like to just bring attention to what next week's topic is going to be. James?
Oh, we wanted to talk about money in video games. Mostly talking about free-to-play versus pay-to-win, transactions, pay-to-play, bullshit prices, loot boxes, battle passes, stuff like that.
Yep.
Money's relationship with video games.
Yep. Streaming services.
Streaming services. God.
No, yeah, I'm just kidding. But like online prices, like things like that.
Like paying for Xbox Live.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be a very Nintendo podcast. Let's just put it that way. Because Nintendo is one of the biggest offenders.
Yeah, I'm still gonna put my 2 cents in about other companies, but it's
Well, yeah, I mean Xbox Live is terrible.
I mean, I like Game Pass though.
yeah. Plus, I mean,
is it worth it though?
If you do a certain trick, then it is.
Yeah.
Which I'll explain in the next episode, and I'll explain it to you after the camera goes off. Or the stream. Or not stream. Right. Fucking hell, I can't even speak. I can't even fucking speak. I can't words goodly.
We're approaching midnight, and we've all been tired before entering this recording anyway.
It's close to midnight.
Yeah, I need to go to sleep. I'm exhausted. I just worked 16 of the last 24 hours.
Like closing statements on dead and dying franchises?
Yeah, Konami sucks. Nintendo needs to do more. Closing statements. Konami sucks. They should die. Nintendo needs to do more with their franchises that they know people love. Sony should stop fucking doing trilogies. And yeah, just because a game is hard doesn't mean it should die.
I guess
it kind of goes against what you said in the previous one, where you said good games should all die.
What did I say?
No, you said something along the lines of like, why do hard games exist just for like the sake of gratification or something? It doesn't. No, make any sense.
Why do hard games exist just for the sake of being hard? And I still stand by that statement. I don't think Ninja Gaiden exists just to be hard. I think Ninja Gaiden exists to be a realistic example of like to be a ninja.
Okay.
Which is probably very difficult.
Moving back to closing statements, what I realized is that there's a lot of things that keep a game from dying and to keep it afloat. Like, there's a lot of requirements to also revive a game, or just to keep it afloat and make sure it doesn't die off. And
yes,
we talked through those a lot today, and like, there's multiple different kill off a game. Bad community, bad developers, no miscommunications, changing teams.
Yeah,
just a bunch of bad timing. Another game kills its popularity.
Yeah, basically releasing a game and having it be successful is very difficult and time-consuming and luck-based.
Yeah, it's amazing that any game really makes it to market.
Yeah.
I mean, some have to come out on top.
Yeah, there always has to be a winner, unfortunately.
And there always has to be games to play because in a time where everybody... Yeah, people need to be entertained. There's content for that, and some content is video, some content's like comics or something to read, and others is video games because interactive medium.
Yep.
And that's our forte.
So, I think we're good there.
Yep. That is the end of the podcast episode.
That,
yeah.
I would say we're pretty good.
Okay, then I guess we'll meet everyone next week.
Yep.
Or,
next week, or it depends on when we're all free. So
the
next week,
episode,
we're going to try. Look, I want to preface: it is my fault that we were not able to do the podcast last week. I had some family things happening, but like I want this to be a weekly podcast for all of you, and that is what we said in the beginning. I think that it will be after this, after today, after this one. I think this will be a weekly thing. Barring anything crazy, but if need be, it will always be at least every 2 weeks.
Yeah, since because of family, that's what was for the first 2 episodes and third.
Yeah. It was, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoy. I hope you tell us how much you hate us and in the comments.
Thank
I
you
hope
for
that-
sticking around to the very end right
Thanks.
here.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sticking around. Thanks for not clicking off in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, and I hope you did a good job at whatever you were doing
But
in the
also
background while
appreciate
listening
if
to
you're
this.
just playing in the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate if you're old players in the background.
Good luck on that test. You guys got it.
You stomp that Goomba. You get that money.
You get that money.
Go get on that grind.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
anyway.
sing that song.
Okay, see you gamers.
Bye.